Now you can learn from me in your preferred language. Just click on settings, click on the audio track and choose either from English or Hindi. Hey folks, CA Rachana Ranade here and I welcome you all to a very interesting video which is about health insurance. Now the whole landscape of health insurance is changing so rapidly that we need to understand some key areas, some key points before we finalize a health insurance policy for ourselves. Now what all points should we check? These could be: how much health insurance cover could be sufficient? Can we get unlimited health insurance cover? How to interpret the waiting period of any policy? Does room rent really matter? And what is claim settlement ratio? Now let's get started with the very first question as to how much insurance cover is sufficient for you. Okay. Now when I tried to research about this, I found out this article which mentions that an average Indian has a health insurance cover of around 5 lakh rupees. Now the question is that even if it may be sufficient today, what about 5 years from now? Would this amount be sufficient or not? Now for that we need to know inflation in India, and not only inflation, we also need to know about medical inflation in India. And for that, have a look at this. Now this one mentions that the medical inflation is at 14%. Now how can we make use of this figure to calculate the ideal amount of health insurance cover that I should have, let us say 5 years from now? And for that comes in handy a rule of 72. Now rule of 72 says that if I divide 72 by the rate, then I get to know within how many years does the amount double. नहीं समझा? Okay, I'll give you an example. Now 72 is the numerator. What will come in the denominator? That is the inflation number of 14%. Okay, so here we'll only consider 14. So 14 5 is 70. So this will be 5 point whatever. Okay, what does this mean? This means that whatever amount, in our example 5 lakhs is sufficient today, this amount will double in a span of 5 years. So if I'm saying 5 lakh is a sufficient insurance cover for me today, after 5 years ideally I should be needing a cover of 10 lakh rupees. Now if some person says, oh my god, this is big, so why not be prepared right from today and maybe get a health insurance cover for 10 lakh right away? For that we have to understand what is the amount of insurance premium to be paid in that case. Of course the amount will differ from age or whatever habits the person has, so many factors into consideration, but just as an example, the premium for 10 lakh rupees insurance policy will be roughly around 596 rupees per month. This is as per the Acko website, and as I mentioned, this amount can change based on age and other factors. But what if I tell you that if you could spend an additional amount of just say 250 to 300 rupees per month, which is like spending money for a movie ticket, you can get unlimited health insurance cover. Can't believe. For that, have a look at this. So here we are at acko.com. We are just going to click on check prices. Once we click here, we'll have to just click on buy a new plan. Now here you need to select for whom. So let's say I'm just checking for myself. Age, let's assume 26. Okay, then I'll just click continue. We'll have to put my phone number and then click on see your plans. So now if I were to just check that for a 10 lakh cover, how much is the premium that I will have to pay? It will be 596 per month plus GST. Okay, so 596, keep this amount, let's say round of 600 rupees. Now instead of 10 lakhs, if I were to just scroll it down to the extreme right, unlimited, you can see that that 600 rupees has gone up to what? 851 rupees per month. So this is barely 250 rupees extra. The point that I said, it's barely like the cost of one movie ticket per month, right? Now let's see, instead of age 26, let's do a reality check as well, and let me input my age again, and let's say here I put the age as 37 and then hit continue, and then I put my phone number and I say see your plans. Then for a 10 lakh cover, the amount comes to 680 rupees per month plus GST. Okay, keep this in mind, 680. Now if I were to slide down to unlimited, this is coming to 969 rupees per month plus GST. So again, like I mentioned, this is less than 300 rupees per month, less than a movie ticket per month. So if you want to know more about this plan, by the way, which is this is the Acko Platinum Health Plan. If you want to know more about this, then please check out the link in the description box below. Well, is this the only feature of Acko Platinum Health Plan? Answer is no. There are many more features which I'm going to discuss, so keep on watching the video till the end. Now let's move on to the second point, which is about the waiting period. Now what do we mean by this? In any health insurance policy, waiting period is a time period for which you have to wait until you can reap all the benefits from the health insurance policy. So I'll give an example. Assume that there is Mr. X who already has diabetes. So could it be possible that he subscribes to a health insurance policy, gets admitted to the hospital immediately after 1 month, submits all the bills and gets the claim? Answer is no, that will not be possible, because there are almost a lot of health insurance policies will have some or the other waiting period. There are exceptions, I'm going to talk about that as well. But what could be the different waiting periods? For that, have a look at this. The screenshot again has been taken from Acko's website, where you can see on the left hand side a lot of different medical conditions are given, and on the right hand side you can see whatever waiting period that has also been given. But if I were to talk about Acko Health Platinum Plan, this plan has zero waiting period. So the moment you subscribe for this policy, if something goes wrong, you will not have to wait for any number of days. But of course, it is also worthy to note that if you have certain pre-existing conditions while you are going to subscribe for the policy, there is a chance that Acko Platinum Health Plan you may not be eligible for that plan. But does it mean you will not be eligible for any health insurance policy? Answer is no. Acko team will suggest you a suitable health insurance plan. Then there are some very fancy people who will say that, Acha, is that so? Then I will not disclose any pre-existing conditions so that it will be easier for me to get that specific policy. But please don't do that. If you don't disclose any pre-existing medical condition, there are great chances that your claim may be rejected at the end. Now let's come to a very, very important point as to whether the room rent limit is really important or not. And answer is obviously yes. Now let's take a simple example. Assume that Mr. A admits his friend or his relative to a hospital, and the room that this person likes is of 10,000 rupees. In the policy, the room rent cap is at 5,000 rupees. Cap is a maximum limit, is at 5,000 rupees. Now what does this person feel? That okay, whatever expenses are going to be incurred, they are covered in the policy. What is the additional amount this person will have to shell out? This person will have to shell out additional 5,000 rupees per day for the difference in room rent. Is that answer correct? Answer is no. Now what has happened? He chose for 10,000, but the actual allowable was only half, which is 5,000. So now as per the insurance policy, what will happen? Whatever expenses are incurred, only half of that are going to be allowed as a claim. So assume that the doctor visit fee were 2,000, only 1,000 rupees will be allowed. Assume that the surgery expenses were 30,000, only 15,000 will be allowed. So I hope you have understood that the room rent is going to be really tricky, and everyone has to understand this perspective. But is there any policy which has unlimited room rent, or basically there is no cap on the room rent? Answer is obviously yes. It is Acko Health Platinum Plan, which has no room rent limit. Not only this, Acko also covers pre-hospitalization costs up to 60 days before and post-hospitalization costs up to 120 days after the patient is admitted. Now let's move on with the final point, which is the claim settlement ratio. Now let's take an example to understand how this claim settlement ratio is really important. Now this is calculated not in a very simple way. It's nothing but number of claims settled versus number of claims received or registered. So let's say there is an insurer A where number of claims settled were 91 versus number of claims received or registered were 100. Whereas there is an insurer B where number of claims settled were, let us say, 97 and number of claims received or registered were 100. Now out of A or B, which one is better? Obviously the rule will be higher the better, because this one tells us that how many people got the claim. Now what about Acko? Acko, as per their website, has or claims to have a settlement ratio of 98%. So as I mentioned, the thumb rule is higher the better. Keep this in mind before you subscribe to any health insurance policy. I hope you found a lot of value in today's video. If you did, don't forget to share this with your friends. Don't forget to smash the like button, and don't forget to check out the link in the description box to know more about Acko Platinum Health Plan. I hope you enjoyed this one. Till then, take care. Jai Hind and bye-bye.